Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Why is everything chrome?
Because we're going to the future today with the help of Stirling Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, my name is Pat Beck. Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
On Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on into live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about the new soap bar from Stirling, Not Quite Heaven. From the sales page, Not Quite Heaven is a bright, warm floral that tries really hard to be angelic. It pops with fizzy fruit, floats through a soft cloud of jasmine, peony, freesia, and lotus, then cuddles up in a gold musk, bourbon vanilla, and sandalwood. It's cozy and pretty, just with a tiny, whoops, almost shrug instead of a full halo.
Y'all constant viewers will remember that we recently reviewed Almost Heaven from Stirling Soap Company. One of our viewers thought that might be a little bit of an homage to a Mitchell's Wolf Hat set, which we don't know yet, so we're not sure. But the set notes to this are close enough where I think they're from the same family, but I might like this one even better. What do you get from this one?
I really get hit by the bright, clean floral side. And then at the end, I get a little warmer, almost like Praia-ish kind of sweeter thing.
It's Praia without the fruit.
There you
It's
go.
those beautiful, delicate florals, those musks, y'all. And what is our soap today?
We're looking for a pineapple under the sea today. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all, we're taking you back to the mid-90s. Somewhere between Aqua de Gio and CK1 was this little beauty, and from the sales page at Stirling Soap Company.
In the future, everything is chrome, Azzaro chrome. Notes of lemon, rosemary, bergamot, neroli, pineapple, jasmine, oak moss, cyclamen, coriander, musk, cedar, sandalwood, cardamom, tonka bean, and rosewood. Only inspired by, not affiliated with Azzaro chrome.
And as I just wrote to Rod, if pineapple was not a scent note, we're no longer friends. And what in the world is SB-129? Well, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, Season 1, Segment 29. Each episode had 2 segments, 2 separate stories. This one happens to fall in Season 1, Episode 14, Segment number 29, called SB-129. Let's let it out of its box. Future! All right, y'all, so you did not see Dunshire because we are in our freshy phase right now, and we're going to do an iffy soap episode with Mr. Bedford over on Instagram when we open Frozen Tundra, because we are told that is in the dirt lane of things. But the opposite of the dirt lane is where you will find SB-129. There is the bar soap, there's the soap on the aftershave. Oh, and there is a bar sample for y'all, and it looks like the iconic Executive Man.
I love the actual little sponge
I know,
on the label.
it's
Very
brilliant.
strategic.
I did not get menthol, so you can put this all over your
thank
legs.
you.
All right, y'all, come along with us deep under the sea. We're going to jump in our time machine and have a first impression. You're looking awfully scruffy today, Marcus. I know. I am normally a nighttime daily shaver. I have not missed a day in months since I was sick, but I kind of put it off last night because I was hoping to use this little beauty today. Are you ready for a first impression?
Ooh, okay, under the sea
see
I
what you
go. Here's the pour. Oh, it's a lighter color. All right.
Maybe no vanilla in this
Right?
guy. Let's see. Well, it's a freshie. Well, Elaine's it in. Where are you sitting?
It is that freshy side. It's a little less of the kind of aquatic-y zone and a little more of the clean, freshy side. It doesn't have as much of the greens as I was expecting, but I can tell they're in there because there's a base to this that it's standing on, but it's still kind of on the lighter side, which I'm enjoying. It's oddly familiar. I don't know how I would know this. I doubt I knew anyone specifically that wore this, but it does have a fun 90s throwback kind of a vibe. I know back in the day, this would have been considered much more masculine, I think, but smelling it now, it really is more that freshy, just clean kind of vibe, like fresh out of the shower kind of thing.
Those are my favorites. I used to march into Sephora saying, what do you got that's clean and soapy?
this kind of would hit that category, I think. There's a little briskness at the beginning. There were so many scent notes, I don't even remember what I read. But it comes off as like a bright citrusy hit, not sweet, more like the crisp side of the citrus.
Right.
And then, I don't know if it's a magic floral or something in the middle, but it kind of has that clean, approaching fresh laundry, kind of the florals in a barbershop kind of a hit. And then it kind of gets a little pepper-y. Not dark, but just kind of a little bit approaching a masculine line. A little tone of that coming in here.
Now, citrus can be everything from pink grapefruit to Fruit Loops. What are you getting in this? Like, what kind of citrus is it?
Of course, now that I'm smelling for the citrus, I got something more like a candied floral, so hold on. Okay, I kind of like that there's a SpongeBob vibe going on. I'm not gonna lie, there just adds a little fun, a little carefreeness that I think this needs, because the citrusy part, where I thought was a little more crisp, I think that actually is where the sweet kind of side is coming through. Not gourmandy sweet, not candied, not something like that, but the natural sweet sides of that. And then it brings you into more of the crisp actual florals, I think, is where the transition happens. But with the amount of scent notes that are in here, I probably could be wrong. Or maybe there's some mystery ones in between. But it adds this kind of fun charm to it. Like, I feel like if you met somebody wearing this, you wouldn't really want to leave. You'd have a good time, you'd be laughing, you'd be hanging out. They're very carefree in a good way. Like, they just know how to appreciate life and have the fun in there. That's come across with this scent in a cool way.
Nice. The history books sort of mention this in the same sentence as CK1. Do you find it's kind of got a unisex vibe to it?
Yeah, I would say so. The more I'm smelling this, like the sweeter side my nose is attaching to, and then there's also like a fun like zip to it that I think is where it flips back and forth. Like it has movement to it.
Right.
So it doesn't settle into one side of the lane for me, which I'm actually really enjoying. I think CK1 has a little bit more of like a powdery clean happening, where this is more of like a cool clean. I don't get a color, where a lot of the times I do. Like I think with CK1 I got more of like a blue for some reason. This I'm getting like a white, super bright. Makes sense with the chrome and the yellow action.
Right.
It is really coming through. It does not have a metallic note.
Right.
We're talking about like, okay, chrome. What does that mean? It is shiny clean. Like if you look at a chrome surface, you can see a reflection almost.
Right.
There's something about that that's coming through, but there's nothing metallic or actual metal-ish in here.
Gotcha. Now, why would somebody put a metallic note into an EDP? It's happened. Green Witch Envy, also known as Gucci Envy in the frag world, has a cool metallic note in the middle, and it's always kind of a silvery, chromy kind of thing. So I was wondering if this is kind of where that started or not.
Maybe in the original EDP, but I'm not getting that here, at least in the soap base going on. It's clean, it's crisp, but I don't get something that it's like reflecting off of. That's more metallic.
Do y'all remember walking into Tower Records when CK1 got released and having your mind blown? What do you mean a unisex perfume? What kind of anarchy is this? And it was fabulous, and we all loved it. It was very musky, very citrusy, and then a bunch of other perfuming houses started to fall in line and do the same kind of stuff. And then Calvin Klein released CKB, which was supposed to be the flanker and even better than CK1, and it was not.
There's something in here in like the clean white side that kind of goes towards Fierce from Abercrombie back in the day. The lightest red from Stirling. And that, it spins off in a totally different direction, but there's some part of that era that's kind of coming through, not in like the younger side that I feel like Fierce sometimes come off as, but a little bit more mature version, the way that that white clean side is being used.
Mont Blanc Legend. Same lane as Lightish Red, and Stirling has one of those too.
I think the lighter citrusy clean side for me is kind of approaching like the end of spring, almost summer vibe. Like the sun needs to be out for me to want to wear this, but I feel like it would be the perfect feeling of like putting on sunglasses and walking outside. There's something about this scent that's like, okay, I'm ready to go enjoy the sunshine. That's really coming through in a fun way. I honestly don't know if I would reach for this before you would, or you would grab it first. Like there's parts in this that I can totally see blending with our personalities in different ways, that it's kind of more of a transformative kind of thing. Once you've got it on, people would know you're wearing it, but it's not an in-your-face scent. It just means you like freshened up and got ready for the day. Part of that's coming through.
Those are my favorite kinds. Is it kind of like LaMail, the scent I wore for 20 years and I'm seriously thinking about buying a new bottle of?
Yes, a little less powdery, a little more sweet citrus maybe? Swap those out, and not as minty. There is a green or something in here. I don't know what herb that is, but it's not enough that it goes full on like minty green. It does come off with the brisk clean side, like how mint works in that one. It's a similar vibe here.
The history books also reference that this was a great door opener cologne, that this was a lot of people's very first scent. And then that would segue into Agua de Gio and to Car Noir and all those other things.
I can see that. It's very crowd pleasing, which is why I think it's cool that it doesn't fit in a lane. It's kind of more approachable. It's a good newbie kind of a scent in a way. Right. Like, I feel like it's really got, like, anyone can be able to use this, or if someone smelled this on you, they would all say, wow, you smell clean. Like, I think that would be the quick answer that would come out.
Now, I'm not taking credit for this release. However, we did just send out the thank you cards for our wedding, and one of them went to Rod and Mandy because they sent some beautiful freebies for our wedding party to enjoy. And I went into the stamp drawer for that one particular thank you card that was going off to Paris, Arkansas, and I applied a SpongeBob SquarePants stamp to it. And I made sure they noticed it. And that was about a month before this was released. So, again, not saying I caused this, but it has not been out since 2023, and we barely missed it when we started this show. I mean, a SpongeBob soap, how are you supposed to keep us away from that?
All right, time to get your first word.
I'm excited. This really sounds like it might exactly be in my line of things with an extra kick of citrus inside of it. I tend to like to go a little bit more floral and musky than citrus, but again, I'm not afraid of it. All right, here we go. Diving in.
Well, with the amount of scent notes in here, your nose might get a whole different side. Right. So let's see.
Oh.
A different side of the sponge, maybe.
Interesting. Not all that far from the almost heaven, not quite heaven lane of things. And in the last part of the whiff, the exact same part of that LaMail whiff that I got from Prom King from Summer Break Soaps. Okay. That's our lane. Y'all, hold on a second. Going back in.
It's fun to visit the 90s every once in a while.
Yo. And I did ask Rod if the Almost Heaven set was a dupe of LaMail. And he said, no, but if you like LaMail, stay tuned. I think Rod's entering his LaMail era of things because this is in that lane. Beautiful. It goes into the soapy, clean, bubble bathy lane, but then it kind of branches out and goes deeper, but not crazy. Hold on. Oh, this is curious. I'm kind of diving in to see who's winning the war, the citrus or the floral. And I'm giving them each a wide berth. But this is perfectly balanced. I am really not sure whether this is citrus-centered or floral-centered because of how they're coming together. And that's not easy. Think like a kind of a tart, orangey, lemony thing meeting against some lavender, some barbershop florals, which are normally really quiet singers. So you had to turn those way up, turn the citrus way down. That's where this is meeting me.
See if you can find what's at the bottom, because I really couldn't dig down deep enough. But
the bikini bottom? I will try. Hold on. I think that's why parents didn't let kids watch SpongeBob SquarePants, is right off the bat it took place in Bikini Bottom. There are really interesting fan theories about SpongeBob SquarePants. You could go down some serious rabbit holes. Soft, mellow, clean, bubble bathy, as if you needed something transparent, just so your clothes felt cleaner. You felt like the stuff you were putting in your hair was more expensive than it is. That kind of thing.
Is it lighter woods? Like, I couldn't figure out what that base was.
You know, I am running at full speed and I am not hitting any trees in this. This is going back and forth between a soft floral and a beautiful subdued citrus. And they're turning one way up and one way down. I'm trying to see what's going on underneath it. Because I think they're kind of building a pyramid, but I'm kind of trying to figure out what the core is here.
I like that it's hard to find. It's just a different way of using a base note.
And I'm right now sitting about 70% feminine. I gotta tell you.
Interesting. I was just about to ask that. Okay.
It's sitting at about a 2.5 intensity, so getting my nose under everything is a little tricky, but I'm seeing like billowy white cottony clouds against a blue turquoise sky. Again, not in summer, but springy, a spring morning. It makes me think of Stockton, California, on a June morning, walking amid the clover in my grandmother's backyard and the sheets hanging on the clothesline. That's what it smells like. And she always used way too much fabric softener and a really nice detergent, but the woman owned no clothes dryer until she was in her 70s and her kids bought her one.
I don't know if I got cotton right away, but I definitely got like a fresh, clean breeze going on.
All right, y'all, come along with us. We're going to go find Sandy and build you a lather. Y'all, Y'all, we'd like to introduce you to Sandy. This is the little squirrel that comes in my window while I'm editing these episodes and takes her little peanuts. And sometimes she takes them from my hand and she reaches out her little hand and she holds my hand while she takes her peanuts. And one time she fell in the apartment and started running around and we were all scared. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at stirlingsoap.com. We start with set notes of. Strap in, y'all.
Yeah, they're not really broken down, so we're just diving in. First three, lemon, rosemary, bergamot. But let me add neroli pineapple with those, because I think that's kind of connected.
I think you are absolutely right. The rosemary is giving a cool, bright, minty burst to the citrus, and then I think the neroli is what's calming them down. It's kind of the bridge between the citrus and the floral, because that is a citrus floral.
I really almost had an orange blossom. I wasn't sure where the citrus and the florals overlapped, but that's the answer. And then put pineapple and jasmine next to those, and that answers the rest of your question.
And I think the pineapple and jasmine are kind of creating an accord, because I'm kind of getting that Dole Whip candied pineapple in there, and I think it's a gentle floral that's helping it do that. And then our next set note, you know, DJ is absolutely delighted that I do not like oak moss very much anymore. It can be cleaned up in a soap. It can be used correctly to where it's a delight to me. But if it sticks its head above the surface, I'm starting to get a little tired of oak moss. But y'all, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. It is not that dingy, squinchy oak moss. It's just a tiny tinge on the canvas, so the rest of these can be there in their full sweet floral citrusy quality, so you can kind of ignore the oak moss.
Now, after reading it, though, I can tell it's in there. It's just adding a gentle green, not quite vetiver, not quite herby thing, but it does have a purpose in here.
I used to feel the same way about patchouli, but now we're bosom buddies. And then cyclamen, coriander, musk, y'all, cedar, sandalwood, cardamom, tonka bean, rock. Hold on, let's take these one at a time. How are you getting the coriander? A little bit of a natural seedy kind of a sense?
Earlier I mentioned something peppery, so maybe that was kind of creating that somehow, because then you put that next to the musk and the cedar, and those three kind of, I think, blend as their own little accord too.
And I think this is where this and LaMaille kind of overlap, is in the musks. Beautiful, delicate, subtle. Sandalwood, to give it a little bit of a creaminess under the surface. Are you getting that? I do not get many woods in this at all.
No, but that gentle, white, clean, masculine side, like where it's almost approaching a cottony thing, I think this is where the magic is happening here. From the musk, cedar to sandalwood, then jump into cardamom, tonka bean, and even the rosewood. Like, that's as dark as this gets.
I think these last three are turned up just a little bit, but that beautiful cashmere cardamom kind of hit. Tonka bean, that's as close to vanilla as you're going to find. A little bit of a kind of a hay note on the dry down. And then one of my favorite scents in the entire wet shaving world, rosewood. Think American vintage from McDuff's and the Razor Company. Y'all, rosewood is amazing. It's a little bit rose and it's a lot woody spice. Can't get enough.
I feel like this is one of those scents, once we lather it up and smell the splash and all the, like, there's going to be different parts that we just didn't even realize were in there.
You don't have to say lather twice to me. Where'd you get this beautiful brush recently?
This is from my Stirling collection, and I gotta say, the splay on this brush is super soft and very enjoyable.
And I'm just gonna grab a little bit more soap than you need and put it here at the bottom of this SpongeBob colored bowl from Barrister and Mann. Now, why did you choose this as your very first grown-up shaving bowl?
I like the concept of being able to set the bowl down and rest the brush on the side, because I'm not a fan of when it falls in and then the whole handle gets the soap all over it. I liked having just that little notch to wrench it on the side.
And y'all, we do not leave our soap in clumps at the bottom of the bowl. We make a thin layer, because our first goal is just to pull the soap up onto the bristles. Then we're going to build our lather from there. And this is our bougie sprayer from Sean and Julie Smaldridge. All right, about 10 sprays of water into the bowl. We start with less water than we're going to need.
And a dry brush here, starting going one way and the other way, just trying to get it onto those bristles. My friends, that water is already waking up that citrusy fun. And then I'm going to turn the brush about 25%, same thing, just trying to get it onto those little bristles here.
I feel weird shooting with so much stubble, but I really wanted to use this today.
I think you chose a good one, I'm not going to lie. All right, I'm adding a little more water onto the soap here.
This is the least bossy
Yes, I would
cologne
agree.
I've experienced from the 90s. Even Aqua di Gio seems a little bossy compared to this.
Which is why I almost couldn't decide if it was masculine or feminine. There's just something a little more gentle about it.
Right.
Now it's waking up. It's getting a little bit more attention-seeking, maybe.
Attention-seeking, SpongeBob? Are you kidding? My favorite episode is when winter hit and they went into Sandy's enclosure while she was hibernating. If you have not seen that one, y'all, I forget what it's called, but I think the word idiots is in the title.
Oh, boy.
Oh, a little Sandy? A little suntan lotion-y kind of? This kind of smells like the beach in the morning. Oh, which if you're not from California, you may not know what that exactly smells like. It smells like this.
There's like a coolness in the air off of the ocean.
Right.
But the sun is warming the sand, so it's like a whole different experience.
And you got the florals from the shrubbery around the beach that's starting to wake up and open up in the morning. I'm kind of getting that, y'all.
Right. Add in, like, if you just took a fresh shower and then show up at the beach. I think we're there.
We should go to Stinson.
There you go.
Stinson's kind of our closest beach, and it's a grown-up beach. Surfing competitions, those riptides will wash you right out to sea. Great white sharks, we got it all. Woo! Look at that lather. I can't even see the bottom of the bowl. That is textbook. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Who's Better, SpongeBob or Patrick with On 3, 1, 2. You get a lot of Sandy in that, a lot of Sandy. I'm kind of getting the big lady that drives the car. I think she's a whale, right?
It did change a little bit.
It did.
That may be a little more brisk, a little more masculine. This is still a little sweeter. It's just more condensed. That's more spread out.
Now, hold on a second. I keep Almost Heaven on me at all times because it's so good. I even sent one to Barry Bedford in retaliation for some of the 900 nice things he did for us. Let's do a little comparison because I think these are pretty close in my memory. On 3, this is something you will only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the We're Taking SpongeBob to Heaven with. On 3, 1, 2. Okay, that's quite different. I get it now.
Yeah,
okay,
I was like, I don't think it's that close, but I'll go with it.
Now, they're not on separate freeways, though. Y'all, these lanes are separated by a little bit of space, but they're both going to Dallas.
Yeah, to me, this is much sweeter. There's much more rounded edges. This has more of a straight shot for some reason.
Yeah, right. This is more minty almost, very different florals.
Mm-hmm. Like, that almost seems more feminine next to this.
Right. This has got more of the LaMail kick.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, I happen to know, because I've seen the production calendar for Angelo's Shave Arcade. And there are a few delights coming at us in the days to come. But we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, so we thought you might like to see what this sterling lather looks like when it goes on your face. Look at this, y'all. Oh, tiny bubbles. Let's try that on. Beautiful. All right, I think I'm ready to declare a winner. I think the citrus wins over the florals. What do you get?
I would agree, which is interesting because there's not as many citruses listed at the beginning of this as I thought there were gonna be. But the magic that they have with being top notes here are really coming through.
So, y'all, how far down is Bikini Bottom? Well, we're going to find out today and take the Bikini Bottom down a little deeper. Now, don't you find, on occasion, that soaps that do kind of smell soapy blend in with their bases beautifully, y'all, because it is soap. So that's why I love smelling the splashes of soapy soaps because they don't have the soap base quality and they're going to give you the full scent oil with just a little bit of alcohol and some skin foody goodness. Would you like to go
I am
first?
Intrigued where this is going to go, actually.
Me too. All right, here we go. A little something there and a little something
There's a lot of something
there. All right. Chin chin. Ooh! Wait.
Needed to dry.
This went right where I was expecting, and then it turned left, and some new magic came out of that. This is a barbershop.
But
y'all.
like a citrus brisk underwater version.
Yes!
It does have chrome countertops, maybe. I'm just going to say. They're nice and shiny.
I'm not going to say she's wrong. Beautiful Sandy, you can feel the sunlight.
There is something about this that reminds me of Southern California. I'm not sure how, if it's more the beachy side or like 100%. Just the gentle citruses and like the orange blossom near the ocean kind of thing. It doesn't scream aquatic. For some reason, I'm being taken to Southern California. Right. So the natural sweets that I think just must be around the beach there, that's coming through for me here.
And y'all, your typical sunscreen lotion scents, the sweets are turned up high. The sweets are turned up so high that if there's a scent note you don't like, the sweets will generally balance it out. They're sweet like ice creams. This isn't. This is just as sweet as the other scent notes are in their own personalities. So this doesn't read like a lotion. This reads like a morning. The sand is able to come through. The cyclamen, the cedar, the oak moss are able to come through and hold their own in this balance. This is beautiful.
As it's drying down, I'm getting more of that side. Like the citruses welcome you, but then they kind of go away. Right. And now it does kind of create almost a sandy but clean version for me. It doesn't go coconutty, which is why I do feel like it's more spring approaching summer. Like the sun is out, but there's still a little chill going on.
That's really important to note. This is not tropical at all. This is getting less and less sweet as it dries down. Mm-hmm. This is turning into something like super masculine, like a gentleman's study or something like that.
Like even the rosewood, I think, is the secret weapon here. Wow. It's still sweeter because it has the rose with it. But next to the other woody kind of sides in there, and even like the spices that are happening, it's a fun kind of development from the citruses all the way through to get to that full-on masculine kind of final thumbprint. Right. I can see why this got a following before. And when we'd missed it, people are like, wait, did you get this one? I see its place. And I love knowing that it is from the 90s. There's some part of this chapter that we needed to kind of fill in the blank, and this is working.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be SpongeBob and Patrick locked into Sandy's enclosure for the winter hibernation season. Well, it's going to be a lot colder in there than you thought it would be, and you're going to need some way to stay warm. But the only material in this entire enclosure that's going to offer any kind of protection against the cold is Sandy's fur. Well, she's sleeping pretty soundly. And I see that electric razor over there, and I think they're going to figure out a way to get their own.
Head over to stirlingsoap.com where you can find this and a wide range of other products.
Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with SB-129, and the future is so bright, you have to wear shades. Comforting, clean, delicate, floral, cottony, cloudy, but with that fantasy perfumer's note of chrome in the center. It's not metallic as you know it, even if you know metallic from the perfuming world. But it is a little bit of a silvery, imaginative note to sit in the center of this and give it its own personality. And in one of my absolute favorite bases in the entire wet shaving world, I go back to Stirling every third or fourth day. Thank you, Rod and Mandy, for this. We'll be back with another Stirling Little very soon. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get a $20 gift card to 345 Soap.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSetYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first April video to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
I thought this would be a lot more childhood bubble bath.
Yeah.
Rod and Mandy have kids. It's a SpongeBob reference.
Hey.
Well, y'all, this has got a little bit of that. This has just got a little bit of a call back to your childhood to know that you're fresh and clean. But this goes off into some grown-up-y directions. And you remind me, we've got this bar soap. Shall we vibe together on 3, 1, 2? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, without the soap base of the shave soap, there's something a little more dapper happening here.
The lemon is way more palpable, almost the spine of a citrus in this.
It's fun to have this version of a citrus because I think my brain was thinking something more like Autumn Glory when I was reading the scent notes, but it is not done in that way. This is a much more like blended kind of citrusy floral thing.
Although, if you really dig somewhere between the rosemary and the lemon, there is a little bit of that citronella sense going on in here.
But it adds more of that clean chrome kind of feel somehow.
Right. And as the Barrister and Man machinery begins to come to life at the Stirling Soap Company production plant, we just want to offer our best wishes and congratulations to both Will and Rod and Mandy for this new partnership so that Barrister and Man can take brand new wings. And we are so grateful that during all of that, Stirling has continued to put out our favorites and some new ones. Have you seen the cotton candy soap bar? I'm ordering 10 this morning.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell way better just watching this.